Gentlemen, welcome back to MGTOW Money. Today's topic, lies MGTOWs tell each other. Before we get to that, thanks to the ongoing support from the Patreon investors in this channel. Shout out to longtime Patreon supporter Thomas for today's topic. Let me get into today's topic, lies MGTOWs tell each other. Here it is, men. It's not about the money. I was shocked when I heard a MGTOW video producer say that phrase. No, I'm not going to reference who it was, but he said, quote unquote, his channel, it's not about the money. He said that repeatedly. And by the way, of course, he mentioned that he's creating a new website, doing crowdfunding for it, etc. But his channel, it's not about the money. He furthermore, though, this is where it's important, went on to slander multiple other YouTube MGTOW channels, including this one, that suggesting that it's all about the money for all these other channels and that all these other channels are frauds, but his particular channel, I suppose, and a few others are some sort of walking on air, that there's some sort of nonprofit entity, etc. Awesome. Let me give you the real meaning, men. If you hear someone say it's not about the money, you know what? Here's the real meaning. It's all about the money. Just like when you hear a man who's frequently bashing gay people and just going on and how he hates gays and how terrible they are, etc., you can almost be guaranteed he himself is gay or has some sort of tendencies, etc., that he in turn is wrestling with, as we've seen so many times. Men, I'm telling you, be warned. And by the way, the most popular comment to this man's video, where he was repeatedly saying about how, quote, his channel is not all about the money, was, quote unquote, real MGTOWs don't create content for money, but to save lives and to spread the gospel. Let me just say clearly, men, for those of you who are on board with that idea, let me be clear, unsubscribe to this channel right now. Go ahead, hit the unsubscribe, go on with your life. Move forward, do something else. This channel will create no value for you from here on. Period. End of story. So again, go on. For me, at least, and I think for other MGTOW content, creating this type of work is not volunteer work. We're not here to do this just to generate something good in the world, etc. In particular, by putting it on YouTube, where effectively YouTube is profiting, they are making money from this content and correspondingly not paying us for it. This is wrong, in my opinion. We are creating value for the world and correspondingly, except of course through donations and Patreon, etc., now not even being compensated for it. We're not being paid for it. This is purely, for most men that are doing MGTOW content, purely a labor of love, if you will. They're doing it because they want to. But let me be clear here, men. You are not your brother's keeper. I am not my brother's keeper. You owe me nothing. I owe you nothing. You are in charge of your life, and if you want to move forward, you need to deeply integrate into your mind 3 key ideas, because you need to start thinking about exchanging money for value. Whatever gives you real value that you can move forward and do something better in your life, that's what you need to start exchanging your money for. If you want a concert ticket, if you want a new computer game, if you want to buy a pair of shoes or whatever, you need to create some sort of value. Whether you go shovel somebody's snow off their sidewalk, whether you go to your work and do some sort of function there at it, whether you write a book and you sell it. Again, you need to start creating value to exchange for value. And here are 3 ideas you need to deeply ingrain in your head. 1, money is not evil. It is not bad. Money is neutral. It's simply energy. It's a symbol of the value that you have created in a society. And the more value you can create for other people, the more money you can potentially make. Jeff Bezos, multi-billionaire who started Amazon.com, obviously created a tremendous amount of value for tens of millions of people. He did so legally, clearly non-fraudulently in an extremely positive way. That is fantastic. He should be applauded. Of course, as it stands now, he's going to lose half his wealth, but leaving that aside, that's what you can do. You can create value for one person, for example, by going to your job every day, in exchange, of course, getting some sort of value, in this case, money, and in turn, multiply that money by investing it properly. 2, you need to see asking for money when you create value as good. You have created something. If you've done something good for someone, you should expect something good to come back for you. You don't need to feel guilty about asking for money. Let me give you a real life example. When I was working, it was frequently said around our office, hey, I'll buy you a cup of coffee or I'll buy you lunch. And that was, by the way, that's one of the throwaway phrases that I use here about supporting this channel is buy me a cup of coffee to support this channel. The point is that by doing small favors or large favors, you in turn are compensating them, whether it be literally buying a cup of coffee, whether it be literally handing them a C note, a la $100 bill or $200, or if they did something significant for you, $1,000, whatever it is. They have done something for you. It's okay. There's no reason why you shouldn't expect something to come back to you. Lastly, more importantly, ultimately, men, no one cares more about you than you do. You are by yourself in this world. No one will take care of you. No one's going to bail you out. You are no longer a small child. You no longer are some young boy who people are just going to ultimately just take care of, etc. You need to stand up at an early age and be a man. You need to stop complaining. You need to stop thinking why, how unfair this is, and this shouldn't be happening, etc. And instead think how and what. How can I get out of this? What can I do to move forward from this? How can I change this situation? How can I achieve FU money at a relatively young age so I can walk away from this job? What do I need to put into place to do so? What actionable steps can I start doing now to move forward? Men, you are 100% responsible for where you are today. Totally, fully, regardless of the disadvantages or advantages that you might have. It's all on you. Men finishing. You owe me nothing. I owe you nothing. This channel is a value for value exchange. It provides, I know for a fact, real actionable ideas, specific things that any man can do to move forward with their life and ultimately achieve financial freedom. And furthermore, in particular, as those Patreon supporters know, there are real ideas that can put hundreds, if not thousands of dollars that I specifically have specified for them to move forward with a better life. You've got to fully appreciate creating value for value. And if you do not appreciate that, again, unsubscribe now. Hit the unsubscribe button on this channel now and get on with your life. Gentlemen, as always, if you did find this channel profitable, if you do find it creating value for you, hit the subscribe button. John Galt out.